All right, now we're at switching. Yes, very simple, not big deal. The first thing we're going to talk about is the housekeeping, or what we're going to do. And I want you just going to put a switch up there and do the configurations. We're going to go ahead and have connectivity between two different devices, what have you. But not two different devices, two PCs. All right, you can go back and forth. I already put in the IP addresses, as you can see here. Let me make it big enough for all of you to see. There you go. Right? Let's do it like you would do it, right? Let's not look at that. So we got IP config. Oh, look, your linked local address, FE80, right? We need to know that. And there's our IP address for the PC. We're using a 24-bit math, obviously the gateway, which we don't need at this point. All right, and the other one, let's make sure that that has the IP in there as well. Yeah, let me bring it in here, zoom it in. Let's go to the command prompt, do our IP config, IP config. There's your link local, which will always be there, and there's the second available IP. All right, wonderful. So what we're going to do is, again, just basic housekeeping on the switch. Similar, very similar to the router, just slight differences. One, it comes to the gateways, right? Because these are layer 2 switches. I get a lot of questions about, hey, Laz, what about routing in the switch and this and that, whatever. Listen, in your CCNA, forget about layer 3 switches. They're non-existent as of yet, okay? They're non-existent. For your CCNA, think of layer 2, layer 2, layer 2, layer 2, all right? That's all we deal with in the CCNA. So here we are. We're going to obviously give it the name. Pretty much very simple, same thing as before. Global configuration. And then we're going to go into host name, SW1, and I don't know why I don't have it in capital. Let me put it in capitals. All right, so you guys can see even better. And then we put in our passwords like normal. Enable password. Cisco, you should know already what these do. Okay. Enable secret student, right? Service password hyphen, encryption. Same old, same old. Let's create the username right off the bat since we're here. Username, Eldiaz, privilege, and again, I'm going to tab it out because I always screw up the spelling of it. Yes, tabbing has made my spelling go horrendous. All right, username, Eldiaz, privilege, 15, which is the highest level of privilege, is 1 through 15. All right, password. We're going to keep it in sync with what the routers are. Password, plain text, right? That's why we put the 0 because the service password encryption will take care of that. And then we'll put Apple. Okay. Then we'll put in our banner, MOTD. Same symbols, remember. Everything's still the same since the routers. No big deal. And what is it? Welcome to SW1. End it. Okay. And then we'll turn on IP domain, which is you don't need to. It's already turned on, but we're going to do it anyway, just so you can see the command. IP domain hyphen name, and we said it's going to be laz.com. Yeah. IP name hyphen server. Now in this case, obviously, we're just going to put 172.31.1.1. All right. Different topology. All right, whatever. But at least you know that's the IP address of the DNS server. What else can we do here? Let's go ahead and do our SSH tweaking. Or let's do the keys first to do that. Let's do the crypto key generate RSA, hit enter, and I'm going to accept the default, which is 512. All right, I don't want the packet tracer to go crazy. All right, and besides, the higher encryption, the more processor usage you take up. All right, now let's go ahead and do IP SSH authentication retries 3. You can see that it enables. You see, authentication 3. And then IP SSH timeout, we'll make it 120 seconds, which is the max. And then let's go into our lines. Line con 0, password Cisco, login local, because we have username and password. Let's put the exec hyphen timeout on the console. Time out 0 minutes 0 seconds. We'll do the login synchronous. I tab that out. All right, make sure you know the spelling. Not that they're going to ask you about this, but hey, just in case you may be that one individual that get asked this, so log in synchronous. All right, and that's it for the line con 0. All right, and now we're going to go to the line VTY, which is our tunnel lines. 15, the default is 0 through 4. We're going to put in password Cisco, login, local, all right, exec hyphen timeout 0 minutes 0 seconds, which will never be timed out. Don't do 01 or else somebody will get really upset at you. And then we will do what? Oh yes, transport. Oh, I forgot the S again. Transport input SSH. So we're only going to allow SSH into this particular connection. I'm going to exit out. I'll exit out. And then we're going to do a copy run start just like in the test. Okay. And you know it's basic housekeeping. We'll do a show start. You can in the certification you probably do a show run. That's normally what they do anyway. All right, but there you go. There's all your basic stuff. But look, oh my God, we got all these ports. What do we do with all these ports? We're gonna put IP addresses on them and stuff like that. No, we're not putting any IP addresses on the ports. When we get later on in the labs, you'll see how we trunk ports and assign VLANs to the ports and all that. But there's all our basic stuff. Now we do need to assign an IP address to this particular switch. All right, and a default gateway to the switch. Very important. In order to manage the switch, you need an IP address to get into it. All right. And if you want to get into it remotely, okay, you need a default gateway. So we'll go to global. We're going to go first. And it's kind of funny the way that they did this, because if you put IP default hyphen gateway, they put the gateway outside of the VLAN. All right. Because VLAN 1 is usually the management of VLAN, but IP default gateway. And let's put 172.31.1.254. All right. That will be our router whenever we put it in there. Okay, and then the next one we have to go inside actually the interface VLAN 1, which is at the moment the management VLAN. Okay, and we're going to put the IP address for that. So we go IP address 172.31.1.253. Aha, yes, one less the default gateway 255.255.255.0. Do not forget to turn it on. No shut. Turns on that interface just like any other. All right. And now, obviously, I'm going to cheat now. Do WR. All right. Not the way of the certification. But hey, no big deal. All right. So we got that going. And let's take a look at it. Do show. I'll say run just to look at it. All right. You go all the way to the bottom, really. That's where you're going to see this. There's your default gateway and there's your IP address. So let's verify that indeed that worked. So we should be able to ping from our PC. And again, I don't know why it didn't stay at the size that it should have. But okay. Misfire there. Misfire. Let's put it over here. Okay. Run. Let's ping 172.31.1.253. And we'll hope this is just Ethernet being its natural self. I don't know. Okay, cool. All right, so we can ping now can we get inside it through SSH? SSH minus L, just in case you forgot, that means login, which is LDS to the IP address of 172.31.1.253. Password is Apple. All right, and now we're in switch 1. All right, we do a show run, all that good stuff. Here we are. Cool. So that's housekeeping on the switch. Let's do it on the other one. I'm going to exit out of here. Let's minimize this PC. Let's not close it. So we'll come back over here. And we'll do this switch over here. Let's make it where you can see it all. All right. Enable, config T, host name, switch 2. All right. And then enable, password, Cisco, enable, secret, student, right, service, password, hyphen, encryption. Come on now. And then, excuse me. What are we going to do now? Banner. Let's do the banner. Banner, MLTD. I never do it in the same order twice. Banner, MLTD. Welcome. to SW2. All right, the username, Aldias, privilege 15. As you know, I tab it out. Password, we're making plain text, and it's going to be Apple. All right, let's do the crypto key. Crypto key generate. Well, before we do that, let's do the DNS. IP domain hyphen lookup. IP domain hyphen name laz.com. IP name hyphen server. That's going to be the 172.31.1.1. Yes, but if I can do it correctly, 31.1.1. There we go. All right, now we'll do the crypto key. Generate RSA and enter. Then we'll tweak the SSH authentication retries. 3 IP SSH timeout 120 seconds. Cool. Let's go ahead and go into the console. Line con 0. Password Cisco. Login local. Now, the only reason I'm showing you login local is, remember, because we created a username. Normally, you don't have, you're not going to, not normally. As far as in the test, they're not going to test you for login local. They just log in, meaning you just put in a password, login local, use the local credentials that are on the particular device. Okay, that's the only reason. Exec hyphen timeout 0 minutes 0 seconds. Login synchronous. Tab that out. Too much to type. All right, so we're done with the line con. Let's go to line VTYs, or telnet lines. VTY 0 through 15. Password Cisco. Login, again, local. And then we put our transport input SSH. Remember, you can do all, you can do telnet, or you can just do SSH. It depends what you want to do. Obviously, we want to do SSH. All right, so we're going to exit. Here, let's put a default gateway. We have the same default gateway because we're in the same subnet, 172.31.1.254. Okay, and then we go into int VLAN 1. All right, since we're all VLAN 1 now, I can't just put 253. This is a unique IP address for this particular switch. So, IP address 172.31.1.252. 255.255.255.0. This is an IP address for this particular switch. Now shut, do WR, and we'll do a do show start. Yes, I know I'm not doing it the way of the certification. You got to go back to privilege mode, copy run start, enter, then do a show run if you were doing your certification. All right, but there you go. There's all your commands right there. Boom, 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 boom. That's housekeeping. It's not a big deal. All right, and actually, the most important part of this is making sure you assign an IP address to the switch and the default gateway. All right, the default gateway to the switch. All right, because questions that probably you'll be asked: how can you access a switch remotely? Access, not get connectivity to it, not go through it. Get access to it, meaning get inside it. You have to have a default gateway. All right, and there's your information here. So obviously, let's test it. But we're going to test it not from that PC right here. We're going to test it from this PC right here. Okay. First, let's ping. First, test that connectivity 172.31.1.252. It was. Let's see. Of course, Ethernet. Yes. Okay. Cool. For at least for IP version 4. So now let's SSH. Minus L, oops, LDs, and that's going to be 172.31.1.252. Password sys, I don't know, Apple, APPLE. Okay, and here we are with a little banner saying, hey, welcome to Switch 2. No big deal, very easy to do. This is just housekeeping on the switches. That's all it is, basic housekeeping and IP address. But notice one thing. We do have a crossover cable between these two switches. This will be considered a trunk link or transit, right? The transit area, okay? But a trunk link. It will eventually, but the ports are in are part of VLAN 1. And let me show you that just real quick. All right, because when we start getting later on, you're going to start seeing that things need to change. Show VLAN. All right, and you see that all ports are part of VLAN 1. So right now, it really doesn't matter, all right, that our ports are not trunked. How do you know if they're trunked or not? Show int trunk, meaning show interface trunks. There are no ports that are trunked at this point. Everything is using the native VLAN, which is VLAN 1. So there you go. Pretty simple, right? Just housekeeping and connectivity to other computers and to the switch itself and accessing the switch itself. All right, there's your basic housekeeping. I'll see you in the next lecture.